Angella Sharp, and welcome to the Daily Mix. Today is our spooktacular, if you can't figure it out. I am dressed up as Princess Barbie, of course, and we're going to have all sorts of awesome things to tell you about coming up so you can get into the holiday spirit and have a lot of fun. But I am recording this on October 21st, and if you are a super fan like I am, you know today is Back to the Future Day. That is the day Doc and Marty go into the future, which was October 21st, 2015. Don't forget, I interviewed Bob Gale right here on the Daily Mix. You can go to our YouTube and check that out. Now, this past weekend was Cruisin' Limburg, and I had an excellent time there like I always do. And I took my dad, of course, and my car. We did the car show first. Then Dad left and we did the cruise, and it was so much fun. Tons of people were out there. I have to tell you, so from Hooters to Ronnie's is a 3-mile stretch. From Hooters to Quick Trip is about halfway through, and people were literally walking on their human feet, talk to us in our cars, and beat us to Quick Trip. That is how much traffic was there. But I showed you a great shot of a ton of cars that were out there, including my own, so we had a lot of fun. Don't forget, you need to join us next year, Cruisin' Limburg. You can find them on Facebook. Now, because this is the spooktacular, I did something pretty creepy and kind of awesome. I visited the Paranormal Research Society. We learned a lot of information. We might have caught a ghost. So let's get started on today's spooky Daily Mix. From the not so scary to the super spooky, Halloween fun is all around. On our last couple of shows, we started giving you a taste of some of Halloween events and attractions that you can find around town. Since it's our Halloween spooktacular, I'm going to give you a recap plus a few new ones. Fright at the Museum continues at City Museum. Encounter the unconventional at this one-of-a-kind Halloween festival every Friday through Sunday, October 26th. You can find all the details at citymuseum.org. I went. It's a ton of fun. Make sure you check out the mice dressed up as scary movie characters. Children of all ages can go trick-or-treating and get autographs from their favorite storybook characters at the not-so-haunted house at the Magic House. It's free with museum admission and runs every Friday through Sunday through October 27th. And more Halloween excitement can be found at Made for Kids during Halloween Spirit Week. Decorate mini pumpkins, create spider web, and more. Spirit Week runs October 25th through the 31st. You can find all the details on this and the Not So Haunted House at magichouse.org. Boo at the Zoo also offers non-scary Halloween fun. Enjoy festive decorations, entertainers, special food and drink menus, and more. Boo at the Zoo runs every night from 5 to 8:30 through October 30th. Visit stlzoo.org to learn more. The St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station has been invaded by pirates, and a spooky patch of pumpkins this fall. Pirates and Pumpkins, a family adventure, runs through October 31st with special trick-or-treating activities on Fridays and Saturdays. Go to stlouisaquarium.com for all the spooky details. Ooh, and this is a new one. The St. Louis Science Center Science Spooktacular is the place to be for science thrills and eye-popping chills. Wicked fun awaits for all ages with a host of free Halloween-themed activities. They're also adding 3 new special events to keep things fresh. Science Spooktacular runs October 25th through the 27th. Find the details at slsc.org. The Butterfly House has been transformed into the Booterfly House. Come face to face with insects like Scorpios and tarantulas. Enjoy daily story time and many other family-friendly Halloween events. Now through October 31st, you can learn more at butterflyhouse.org. You can find thrills both on and off the rides at Six Flags St. Louis during Fright Fest. You'll find tons of family fun during the day, but at night, the terror takes over with rides in dark scare zones, haunted houses, and more. You know I love Fright Fest. I got to hang out with those guys about 3 years ago. That's also on our YouTube page. It's so much fun. It runs Friday through Sunday through November 3rd. Visit sixflags.com/St. Louis for a full schedule. And while you're in Eureka, be sure to keep an eye out for the scarecrows. These aren't just any scarecrows. The community has once again come together to celebrate the season with their scarecrow creations. Some of them are extra creepy, but some of them are super cute. You can find them posted throughout town in front of homes, businesses, schools, and more. You can find a map to take a self-guided tour at EurekaScarecrowTour.com. Celebrate Halloween all day long on Saturday, October 26th at the legendary Central West End Halloween Party. The festivities kick off with fun for the whole family during the day. But of course, once the sun sets, the party continues with an adult-only bash known for its elaborate costumes. The party is free and takes place in the heart of the Central West End. Visit cwehalloween.com for all the details. And as we close out October and all of the Halloween festivities, we also want to mention two events kicking off in November. The Missouri History Museum annual Dia de los Muertos Festival is set for November 2nd and 3rd. This vibrant two-day celebration gives St. Louisans the chance to experience the Latin American culture through art, music, dance, food, and family-friendly activities. You can learn more about the festivities at mohistory.org. And the celebration will also take over at Del Mar Loop on Saturday, November 2nd. The free Day of the Dead Street Festival will feature Latin American food, music, dance, and traditional altar displays. That's going to be really cool to see. It runs from noon to 10, and it is the official after party for the Missouri Historical Society's event. You can find all the details at visittheloop.com. Now, I talked about it at the beginning of the show. We visited the Paranormal Research Society right here in St. Louis. They have events going all year long. You can, look at ghosts, take on ghost tours, but something we did not think we were going to see is possibly a ghost. So there's some parts that I'm going to show you here of this interview that we couldn't even show you. We couldn't use any of them because you can see that all the glitching's happening, and I believe this is the part where he was telling me about one of the ghosts that lives right there with them in that area. So it was pretty cool. But this interview I thought was super, super interesting. I hope you also enjoy it. Let's take a look at the Paranormal Research Society. All right, I got Mark Farley with the St. Louis Paranormal Research Society. All right, thanks for letting us come hang out here. But first of all, we got to talk about, we've got Ouija boards everywhere. What happens in this room?
This is a seance parlor. This is where we conduct seances, Ouija seances. We have a psychic medium that does Victorian-style seances and stuff in here.
So in a seance, that's when I'm calling...
You're talking to spirits.
Talking to spirits.
Calling out the spirits.
Okay, so you guys are right here, right next to the Lemp here.
We're in the Lemp Brewery.
In the brewery part.
Yes.
Right. How long have you been here?
Since 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
So what is your, I gotta know, how does one get involved in, I'm gonna say hunting ghosts. You're not actually hunting them though.
I was a paranormal investigator. I don't do it very much anymore because I'm usually tied up with the business, but I actually was avionics for the airlines. I was an aircraft mechanic, aircraft electrician, and when I got laid off in April 2010 to help make ends meet, ghost hunters would come to me and say, can you build this for me? Since I have an electronics background, and could you modify this for me? And I did, and I just rolled that over into a tour business and haven't looked up since.
And then what you're doing here is taking people on tours.
Walks and talks.
Walks and talks. So you're kind of telling them information.
Ghost stories, creepy history. My tours are 1/3 paranormal, 1/3 true crime, 1/3 creepy history.
And you were talking about this basket right when we sat down. So tell everybody about this basket.
That's a Victorian viewing basket. And what you would do if you're, okay, during the Victorian era, about 50% of the children died before the age of 5.
That's so sad.
So you would rent that from the funeral home so you could have the funeral. And then when it was over, you would transfer the child to a simple wooden box and bury the box. And then the funeral home would rent that out to you. So there's probably at least 100 children that were displayed.
Wow, and where did you get that?
Up here in Antique Row.
Their stores, what you're telling me.
They called me up and they said, hey, it was on Sunday too. We had an event going on and he says, can you get this viewing basket? And I said, yeah, how much you want for it? And she quoted me a price. And I said, well, I can't do it today because I'm running the event. She said, just come up and pick it up and then pay me tomorrow. And that's what we did.
Just really wanted it out.
Wanted it out. And since we brought that in here, there was a ghost of a little child, a boy, that runs, and I've seen his reflection in the metaphysical cases in the shop over there. Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, what are some of the stories of ghosts you've seen? So that's one right off the bag.
When I was remodeling this shop, and we were just on the other side of the small part, and I was working, it was January, it was cold, and I would leave the door open so the heat would flow in here from the common area. And the lights then were controlled by a motion sensor, and the lights would kick on. Just for I'd be here late at night by myself, the lights would kick on, I walk out, look around, nobody's there. There's a bell on the elevator that hasn't worked probably in about 60, 70 years. It would ring periodically, and it's, you know, sometimes I just clean my paintbrush and go home.
Well, that leads me in the next question. Are ghosts good and bad, or do we make them good and bad?
There's malevolent spirits and there's nice spirits. Most ghosts, if you were when you're alive, you're going to be when you're dead. You know? There's not some, I get people all the time, they'll call me up. My house is haunted. I think it's my grandmother. I said, why are you scared? Did you get along with the grandmother? Oh, we used to bake cookies and all this stuff. Then talk to her. You know, you have a cell phone, download a voice app for your phone and try to talk to her. Record the session, see if you can pick up a response, you know. But most of the ghosts that I encountered are just ghosts of everyday people.
Just ghosts of everyday people.
Yeah.
So when you take people on tours here, what are you kind of showing them?
Well, the tour that we use here, the main tour, the Lemp Neighborhood Walking Tour, is half outside. So we talk about the history of the Lemp. Actually, St. Louis has a very strong connection to Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we talk about him. He lived in this neighborhood, actually. And then the back half, we go into basements of what we call the Lemp Brewery Bottle Works.
Wow. So how often are we doing these tours?
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
And you also do a little live on your Facebook page.
I do live chats on Tuesday nights. And sometimes we do what we call a live drive. We'll go someplace haunted. And some reason, we always end up in East St. Louis, talking about the hauntings of East St. Louis. And we'll go to places and just go, and it usually ends up, we hit a chain of places. So, yeah, and we do the Lemp Mansion tours on Thursday nights and the YWCA tours once a month on Saturdays. And it's just been a nice little business that has been built, and we're pretty popular. People like us.
I was going to say, it's pretty cool, but so are you able to give some of these ghosts names?
Yeah, especially through Ouija boards. We have a board here, and it gets lost up here. It's called the Mama board. And I bought this board in Peevely at the Peevely Flea Market back in the 90s. I was actually at Parks College, so 92, 91, 92. And the ghost that comes through is the ghost called Mama. And one of the weird things that happened early on was I would take it over to my friend's house, and me and his wife would, work the board. And we asked Mama where she's at, and she spelled out kitchen. So we said, okay, you're in the kitchen. And my friend Harvey, her husband, went into the kitchen to get some of the drink. And you get condensation between the two panes of glass.
Right.
You saw Mama written inside the pane of the glass, and that's how the Mama board. And that's the ghost we continually get through that board.
Now, when people come here for the seances, are they coming to try to talk to like a specific?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I think when they come for the Ouija board seances, they want the thrill factor, because Ouija boards are supposedly evil anyway.
I have heard that, I think the Catholic Church in particular doesn't like the Ouija board.
Yeah. But people that come for the regular seances, whether medium Shannon, they want to talk to past loved ones. They want to connect. So that's what she does. And people come out crying.
I was going to ask you, are people successful in that?
Yes.
Because I can imagine, right when you said that, I'm like, there's loved ones right off the top of my head that I would love to talk to, but then I would be a little bit scared, I think.
There's some that come and they're very open, and some that are very closed. And the people that are closed, that close themselves off, seances aren't very successful for them. But the ones that really want to talk to somebody, they come through.
So it's kind of the person who's coming here has to be really open to it. Now,
Right.
I'm sure there's been people who come in here very open, but they bring their skeptic husband or something, right?
Well, it does, and that kind of throws the energy off.
I was going to ask, does that throw the energy off? So you should leave that guy at home.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to talk, don't come.
Don't come to it.
Yeah, because we're charging to sit in the room.
Absolutely. Okay, so before you take us on this tour,
Yeah.
what do I need to know to not take a ghost home with me?
Don't give it an invitation.
Okay.
A lot of people, it can be something as simple as show me a sign. I had a lady on tour in the Lemp Man. She says, you can take some of my energy. I say, don't say that. You're going to draw something to you. But just don't give it an opportunity, and usually you'll be fine. So,
Usually.
Unless it's
scary word.
Unless it's something more malevolent, but
you, for the most part, when you're in the Lemp, you haven't seen any real evil.
I haven't seen anything evil in the Lemp, and I haven't seen anything really evil here at the brewery.
Okay.
I've come across some malevolent spirits, but nothing here.
Nothing here. Okay. And when you come across these mean ones,
Yeah,
how do you know they're mean?
just by their actions. Usually they're the ones that a malevolent spirit will want to form an attachment to you, because for a spirit to be on our side of the veil, it has to have an attachment. Now, when we say it's attached to a house, we call it a haunted house.
Right.
When it's attached to an item, it's a haunted item. If it's attached to you, it's a physical attachment. So it anchors it. And what a malevolent spirit would start to do is, once it attaches, it feeds mainly off of what we call emotional energy, fear. So it'll do things to invoke emotion so it can keep that attachment. Now, that's different than a possession. A possession's a completely different animal. But, yeah, most hauntings are just attachments to things in our realm.
So don't welcome it.
Don't welcome it.
Just hang out.
Yeah.
And we'll do a little tour. I don't want to get too personal with you, but you believe in ghosts. Do you believe in a religion? You don't have to tell me what religion.
I'm Catholic.
Oh, okay, so you are Catholic.
Yeah.
These Ouija boards wouldn't lead me to believe that you're not Catholic, because Catholics do not like the Ouija board.
Yeah, but I'm not a good Catholic.
I'm not a good Catholic, but you are Catholic, so that is protecting you a little bit.
Yeah, I do believe it. I do believe in Christ. I do believe in the Catholic. I mean, yeah, I'm not. I don't think you can be an atheist and be a ghost hunter.
Okay, that is an interesting thing because you have to kind of believe in that afterlife.
There has to be, what happens after you die? There has to be an afterlife or an existence after death. And the atheist doesn't believe that. So how can you be a ghost hunter and not believe there's a soul?
See, these are all questions I had before I got here. I feel like I know a little bit more. You're going to give us a little walking tour, but nothing that I should be scared of.
No, hopefully not.
Only good juju here. All right, Mark, let's go on a little tour.
Let's do it. Now we'll go here. You're in 1865 here.
1865, okay.
Now, if you look at these windows.
These things that I love, these archways,
These right here.
Yeah.
Imagine you're 2 stories underground right now.
Okay.
But the way the original brewery was built, that's the 1840 brewery on the other side of the wall. The brewery of Adam Lemp. This is the brewery of William Lemp Sr. This used to be an outside looking window. French's last day of work, May 28, 1948.
Wow.
And up here is 1950.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
There's graffiti all through the brewery like that. The oldest I've seen is from 1896.
I mean, that is so neat.
Yeah. Here, Ray Hall, 1956.
All right, Mark, so where can people schedule a tour?
SeeAGhost.com, our website.
SeeAGhost.com, and what are those Facebook and Instagram?
Our Facebook is St. Louis Paranormal Research Society. Our Instagram is See a Ghost.
See a Ghost. And this room where you sell some things,
yes.
Is this open all the time, or?
It's opened up after tours and special appointment.
Special appointment, and it feels a little bit more authentic to me just based on its location. So if you're really feeling like, getting into the stones, I feel like this is a good spot to check out. And those lives you do.
Yes, we do lives every Tuesday night at 8:30.
It's a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, Facebook, St. Louis Paranormal Research Society. And they're not scripted, they're not planned, it's just where we end up.
And can people ask you questions sometimes?
Yes. I try not to answer questions while I'm driving, but
sometimes you have to.
It does, and it makes it for interesting traffic.
And SeeAGhost.com is where you go for the seances also.
Yes, we do seances, tours, overnight investigations. They're all listed on our website.
And I know I'm here right before Halloween, but you do this all the time.
365 days a year.
I love it. Definitely check out the St. Louis Paranormal Research Society, SeeAGhost.com. And also make sure you follow STL TV. You never know where we're going to be next. Keep it right here on STL TV and experience St. Louis. I'll see you next time.